So, good morning, lovely people. So, this is a different one. So, I'm doing Monday moon musings and reflections today. I just thought I'd come on and just have a chat. And it's just been the last couple of weeks have been, I've had some very difficult stuff going on, which is extremely emotional stuff that I can't do anything about. It's not happening directly to me. It's happening to people that I love, happening to people around me, and I can't change any of the situation. I can't do anything. So you sort of feel a bit, oh God, a bit useless in a way. And then I've noticed that a lot of other people around me are having similar things, very emotionally charged things, or they're having sort of dark nights of the soul, or very physical things happening with illness and things like that. So I just thought I'd come on and just, because Mondays are great for musings, because Mondays are the moon, and so you've got in there, you've got emotional energies, you've got reflections, and it's sort of a good day for like soul work and shadow work, especially in the phase that we're in today, because we're in a dark moon phase. Dark moon phase is great for really like going deep, doing shadow work, looking at yourself, reflecting. It's sort of using like with self-reflection, I use the heron, because when I first started out with my medicine cards, the heron is self-reflection, and so I like the heron for that. I've always connected with that. So yeah, it's just like, it's really interesting. I mean, we've got Saturn in retrograde, which is sort of those boundary issues. And I've noticed again, like people around me are having emotional boundary issues. And it's definitely seems to be old stuff resurfacing, and people are having to look at stuff and check in, are they using their boundaries effectively? Is stuff in place? And I did chat on Wednesday, Chat a Witch Wednesday, about, um when stuff is hard around you, is the time to go in your toolbox and use what you have. And I must admit, I've really, with the emotionally charged situation around me, I just really, there's just absolutely nothing. The people say, oh well, change your situation. Well, I can't change the situation. There's no part of me that can actually do anything about the whole situation. But what I can do is I can look at how I'm reacting to the situation. Am I going in a downward spiral, getting depressed, going into that negative energy? And let's face it, once you get into the spiral of downward energies, of those negative energies, it's hard to make your way back up, because once you call in, or well, you don't call in the negativity, but the negativity descends, and unless you're batting it away and clearing your energy field and doing stuff to release it, then it like grows. It's like, what is it, that saying, misery begets misery, or so it's sometimes so difficult. And I do get annoyed at people who are sort of very spiritually, I don't know what the word is, what's the word, superior superior. So that, and they, oh well, I don't do negative energy, I don't get upset about things, and you can change this, you can do this. Well, that sort of talk is just not helpful when someone is in quite a space. And yes, we do need to clear that negativity. We do need to try and lift back up into the energy that is, I mean, even if we lift up into an energy that is neither, it's that sort of liminal space of, we're not high and joyful and singing and dancing and celebrating, and we're not miserable and negative and dwelling on things. So but you can be in that space that is neither. I know there's a really good word for it, but yeah. I struggle on a Monday. It's quite funny, because I really connect with the moon, and I struggle for words on a Monday, because Mondays, where they're connecting with the moon, and at the minute we're obviously in the dark moon phase, and we're going to go into the new moon on Wednesday, new moon in Cancer, I believe. It's interesting because Mondays they hold that energy of reflection. They hold that energy of like slow. I've always found it amusing that it's the first day of like the working week. And it really shouldn't be, because it's totally the wrong day. Tuesday's the right day because Tuesday's an action day, a Mars day, get out there, do day. Whereas today is more like dreamy, it's more that meditation-y energy, it's more that contemplation energy. And if you listen to people when they talk about a Monday, it's quite often, oh, but if you're lucky enough that you don't work on a Monday, it's a great day, because it's a day that you can really chill. And it's funny because like a Sunday's meant to be a chill day, which everyone sort of uses. If they work Monday to Friday, they use a Sunday to like chill out. But Sunday's not a chill out day. Sunday is a day, it's a creating day. So again, it's got that, it's a sun day, so it's got sun energy, so it's more of an actiony day. Whereas Monday moon day is more like, it is like, let's just sit and meditate for the day. Let's go for a lovely walk, and just, it's such a slow day. It's a yin day. It's not a yang day. Tuesday's a yang day. Saturday's pretty much a yang day. Sunday's pretty much a yang day. So we don't have in our normal sort of Monday to Friday working, weekend. The weekend should be work days because it holds that energy. So yeah, it's quite interesting, really. I find it quite, but that's the point, isn't it? We've become conditioned to what society sees fit and whereas our ancestors, they would have felt into these energies. They probably laid around on a Monday, looking for inspiration and guidance from the gods and communing, with the gods and things, because you just know the energy of the day. You can feel the energy of a Monday. It's such a slow, day. I mean, others might not see it that way. So, you might have a different thought on a Monday. You might be quite a vibrant person on a Monday. Or you might be quite vibrant after you've had 16 cups of espresso or something. But yeah, I just, it's very interesting. So I thought I would sort of maybe now and again do a Monday moon musing reflection day. Again, it might not be often because I probably won't have the energy to do it. So we'll still be having a Chat Witch Wednesday this week, hopefully, and a Runic Thursday. It's really interesting because we've got the new moon and we go into Feu which is the beginning of the year with the runes. So we go in the half month of Feu on Wednesday. The energies are very much like, and again, I think like today, feeling it, you can feel like the end, or I can, working with the runes, I can feel everything coming to fruition, because although I start my year at Samhain, I also start again now in Feu. So it's quite interesting. I have like two starts to the year, because I now work with the runes. It's like, oh, here we go again. It's a new start. So I have to like two start circles. And obviously, you know, the normal calendar year, but I don't really go with that. I haven't really done that for years. I know, like, again, it's like this outer and inner, which I talk about often, but like my outer rune, my inner rune. But it's true, it's like, because we are part of society, we are part of the outer, the universal stuff that's going on. So, you know, you can't help but be part of that energy, because that energy, you know, round the world, a huge amount of people start, you know, the new year the 1st of January. I mean, most people that I know do, other than my sort of witchy friends and people like that. You know, all my family start it, you know, even my husband starts it. And yeah, I don't. So I'm a bit, I'm a rebel. Samhain's always been that time for me, and yeah, actually, it's a funny time of year because for a new year. But you know, a lot of witches have Samhain as their beginning of the year. But it is an interesting time because, again, if you look at the seasons and stuff, it's more of a, you know, when we're in that autumn and wintry time, that's more of a slow, it's more yin, it's more, you know, hibernating energy. So it isn't actually, uh, you know, a great sort of energy to start the year. um but yeah, a lot of us do. So but starting the runes now, um that does make sense, because we've just had summer solstice, although we're uh, sort of starting to slow down again, because we've built up and we've hit the sun at the solstice, the longest day. And now we're sort of going round, aren't we, to go into you know, autumn and winter, but in the, obviously, the northern hemisphere, not in the southern hemisphere. But yeah, it's starting with Feu. It's such a, like, a spark of life. It's, although it's quite a full spark, so it's not like, say, Ingu's, where it's the seed planted in the ground and, you know, slowly coming to fruition. It's almost, with Feu, it's already there. It's quite interesting. It's like, because for me, when I started working with the runes, I'd get, like, I started to get pictures and things, and I see Feu as like a field of poppies in bloom, or a field of wheat in bloom. I don't know. I always, it just, I see wheat and I think Feu. It just, I don't know. It just gives me that. I mean, it probably is different for a lot of other people, but that's sort of how I see it. So I did make, well, I say I did my altar this morning. I haven't done my altar this morning. I've um I've done my runes. I've done my rune for the week, and I've got a thala, um which is interesting. You know, the ancestor rune, hereditary, heritage, you know, homestead, all of that sort of energies. Um, and I've got some unusual cards. I've got death, which was like, oh God. But I feel that's this now happening, the death of the old year with the runes, and starting this, like, and I'm just like literally starting the awakening cohort with the Awakening people and the cohort, and I'm just starting my mastery again, so that my last one's finished and my new year's started. And so I've got that going on. So I feel this energy, this really full energy. So death sort of makes sense. And I've got some interesting cards, and it's funny, the last couple of weeks I've had really strange, not so much full altars, but the cards have been really odd. They've conflicted. Yeah, they've just been really, but then I've been in this like turmoil, and the energies have been good 1 minute, some good news. That good news has been taken away, and then there's worse news, and then you get a bit of hope, and then it gets worse. So I've been in this spiral. Oh my goodness, it's, yeah. And so all these weird conflicting energies from the cards have been interesting. I have like held the energies with the crystals that have been on the altar with them, and the stones, the runes and the Ogham have held me in their energies anyway. So that's been great. So yeah, so I'm just really, I don't know why I'm coming on really. I think I'm just coming on to sort of say to you all that, whatever you're going through, whether it's health things, whether it's emotional things, whatever it is. I mean, we all know logically that things pass, don't we? We all know that, things get better. If you can look back on some of your really, really dark times in your life, or when you've maybe had a dark night of the soul or something, if you look back now, you won't feel the pain like you did then. You'll know that it's uncomfortable. You might have uncomfortable feelings about it, but it won't be that really sharp, horrible pain that when you're in that situation when you're feeling so low and dreadful, and just horrible energies. So we do get past it, but it doesn't mean that when you're in it you should when people say, oh well, you got to think positive, and well, only you can get yourself out of it. I mean, it's such a horrible, I find it such a horrible way to speak to people. I think you should acknowledge what they're going through, acknowledge how they're feeling, but maybe sort of, give them advice, or, with, what do you like, what brings you joy? What do you like doing? Maybe you could try, if someone really loves music, or maybe you could put on your favorite music, or maybe you could do this, not say you have to, or you need to pull yourself together. The amount of people that speak to people like that, I find it difficult, really. I think sometimes if someone's wallowing too long, they might need a bit of a sharp prod to sort of, if you know them well enough, that they need that prod, like, come on, yeah, maybe. But even that, sometimes that may be how, or what they need, but it might not be what they need this time, because whatever they're going through is going to be different maybe than what they've been through before. So I think you need to sit with people and say, well, look, what would help you? Would you like a chat? Would you like to go out for a cup of coffee? Would you, well, I don't know, would you like to do some art? I mean, for me, it's art anyway. I mean, so I'm only saying things that I like. I did do, last year, I was talking to a friend of mine, really good friend, and we were saying about, when you struggle, like, creatively, and when when you want to do stuff and you just feel you just don't have the energy for some reason, you just can't motivate yourself, you've lost that spark. And we were talking about things that maybe would help, and we were talking about doing like a little card and putting things on there, and maybe even doing a sigil, that would lift you out of the funk and stuff. And put things down that are really specific to you. So I'm going to sit in the garden and I'm going to read a book. I love colouring. I love colouring. So I've got lots of different colouring books, and I just love it. I love doodling. I love since I've had all this stuff going on, I've found it hard to do my more bigger pieces of art and my really like something that I've got to have different type of energy for. So what I've been doing, I've got some jelly prints, because I've got jelly plates and I do jelly printing, which I absolutely love. And I did this piece, which was just plain green piece. It was just those colours. I don't know whether you can see it. So and I just doodled on it. I just sat doodling, and I find that so therapeutic. And you just stop thinking. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to use it for. I might stick it in one of my art journals to sort of I'll look back on it and think, oh my goodness, that was when I was having all of that going on. And so it doesn't hold sad energy, but it would be a reminder. But it would be a reminder that, well, we always get past things, whatever, even if the outcome is going to be horrible, and you can't get away from that. Some outcomes are just absolutely horrendously horrible, and that's it. If someone's ill and then they pass away, that outcome is there, isn't it? It's death. It's like, my death card this morning, it's death. That's it. It's so, but then you have to go through the grief and go through everything, and you're going to miss that person for the rest of your life. But you do get there. I remember when my grandma passed, and oh my goodness, I just fell to the floor. And my husband put me into bed, and I didn't get out of bed for 2 weeks. I was like, well, there's no point. There's no point in life. She's gone. I mean, she was like 90, 95. So it's, she'd had a good long life. But yeah, I really, really struggled. I mean, now I think, that was 20 odd years ago, 26 years ago or something. Do I still think of my grandma? Oh my goodness, so much. I'm not grieving now, no. I could still have a cry now, sometimes I think, oh, I wish my grandma was still here. I'm pretty sure she wouldn't still want to be here, because what would she be, 130 something? But yeah, but find things that are like, well, sort of mindless activities, that does take you, meditation. Some people are like going for a good run, that would be for them. Going for a walk in nature, going to the pub for a drink, even, going for a meal. But and we just don't want to do things, do we? When we're feeling like that, we don't want to do things. But as long as you're really, really gentle with yourself and self-love, there's a lovely lady on YouTube, The Unexpected Gypsy, and she talks about like being in the self-love cocooning away, and I love that, cocooning away, and cocooning away could be that you go to bed, just sit and watch some mindless telly, or and sometimes when we're in that place, we should cry and release, and we can't. And then I've noticed over the years a few times where I've felt really, really low, and I haven't been able to express it for some reason. It hasn't come out. And then I've sat and watched a film and booed my eyes out because the film was sad. And I even remember sort of saying to Spirit, oh, thank you for that. Because afterwards I felt so much better, because obviously that's what I needed. Obviously I needed to release that. So, reading a good book that you like, whatever it is, just slowly, when you're in those times, slowly bring yourself out. And I think I did speak last week. Sometimes the worst things you can do is like, drink or, eat 16 bars of chocolate, that huge chocolate gâteau to yourself. No, I haven't done that. I've thought about it before. But yeah, they're not always the best things to do, because they're not great for your energy bodies and your energy field and things. But so what? Sometimes grab a bit of cake, just sit there and just enjoy every single mouthful, and it probably take your mind off of what's going on for a bit. Journaling, oh my goodness, journaling is so amazing. Get it out, pull it down on some paper, and sometimes just sit in. I mean, I do Reiki, so I put my hands on sort of my heart space area and on my solar plexus, and I just sit, and I do, give myself Reiki, and I sit there. And if you sit like that, I mean, even if you don't do Reiki, just you're still giving yourself healing, you're giving yourself connection and touch and love, self-love, and just, sit there with your energy, sit there. And if you cry, great. If just sit there and give yourself, I don't know, 5-10 minutes of that, and then get a pen and paper and then write, and then just get everything out, and just, that's so therapeutic. So many people are journaling these days, people that aren't doing spiritual work, they just journal, I mean, goodness, with diaries as kids, a lot of us do it, and then as we grow up, we don't do it anymore. But it's so good to just get it out, have a lovely relaxing bath, maybe essential oils in there, candles around the bath, lots of self-love, lots of, as oh goodness, I've forgotten her name, the unexpected gypsy. I've forgotten her name. I'm so sorry, I've forgotten your name. I watch you every week, so I don't know why I've forgotten your name. I can see your face perfectly. But yeah, that self-love is so important, that, looking after yourself, but, try and do more things that are good for you. But, in the end, if it is a bar of chocolate you want, then just have it, and just, but yeah, slowly, maybe, doing little bits each day will get yourself out the funk. And let's face it, some things we can change, some things we can do something, move towards changing it. Some things we can't do anything about. It's the universe has the last word in what's going to happen, and and we can't change it. We physically, mentally, emotionally can't change it, but we can just change how we react and how we respond. So like, not taking out your anger and frustrations out on other people, but maybe you've got anger and frustrations in there. So again, get a piece of paper, scribble on it, throw black paint on it, just whatever you sort of want to do to get it out, or punch a cushion, or go out into nature where you're on your own and have a scream, and just, do whatever. So anyway, this is Monday musings, moon musings, reflections, and yeah, I'm gonna go now, and I shall be back on Wednesday. Love and blessings. Bye.